What's up, everybody? Happy Friday out there. Trey Griggs, Beta Consulting Group, and you are here for episode 113 of The Word on the Street, powered by Beta Consulting Group. Super excited for today's show. We got a great street crew. We got special guest Shannon Breen in the house here from Freightvana here in just a little bit. But before we talk about all that, we got to give a little love to ourselves and to our sponsors. So do me a favor, go over to betaconsultinggroup.com, check out what we're doing for companies, tell them their stories, helping them with their messaging, their branding, their content creation, and something special, everybody. We now have a swag store. Why? I don't know. Somebody said they wanted a t-shirt with my face on it. I thought, okay, what the heck, we'll do it. So go on over to shop.betaconsultinggroup.com. We got some awesome stuff we're going to talk about later in the show, but use coupon code beta-GO for 30% off your entire order during our grand opening. Love to have you join us with some really great stuff out there. We got some awesome things in the store, including, check this out, we've got onesies for little babies. We got t-shirts, got an awesome 3/4 shirt. We got some mugs and water bottles. A lot of great stuff there. Want you to be a part of this community here at Word on the Street. So definitely check that out. Be a part of that. Support small business. Have a great time with that. We appreciate that. Also, shout out to our sponsor, greenscreens.ai. Love what those guys are doing with dynamic pricing in the industry, helping provide actionable intelligence at the moment of buying for your team and making that all that legacy information more available to everybody on your team, make it easier to buy and to win on the freight that you're actually winning. So check them out at greenscreens.ai, or click on the link that Morgan's going to put into the comments today during the show. And click on that. That'll take you right to the landing page for that I have for them, so they know that I sent you. Also, want to give some love to our friends over at TAFS. These are the good guys in freight factoring. They're helping educate carriers, make sure they have all the resources they need to keep those wheels turning, especially those owner operators and small fleets out there. So check them out at tafs.com, or like I said, click on the link in the comments that takes you directly to my landing page with TAFS and get started with them. They're going to help out in so many different ways, keep those tires moving, keep those trucks moving, and we appreciate all of that moving across the country. Also, everybody, it is Finish Strong Friday, which means that on Monday, normally we have Iron Minds with my boy Hayden Allred. Not this week. It is 4th of July, so take the day off, enjoy time with your family. On Tuesday, though, at 6 a.m., join us for Iron Minds, which is a wonderful little show with us. We're doing a little workout, talking mindset. The Freight Sensei is always there. Greg Roberts drops in a lot. A bunch of great people drop in. It's going to be a lot of fun. So a lot of good stuff coming up out there. Got some people in the audience today. Hayden Allred. Got some great content as well. Make sure you're following him. He's present and waiting. We got a nice little surprise later on in the show talking about UFC coming up. Okay, everybody, it is time to bring in the street crew. We got a great crew today. We're going to talk about some fun stuff. Everybody, welcome the strongest man in logistics, my boy from Metaphor. Everybody give it up for Robert Beefcake Bain.
I said I feel invincible. It's 100 niggas in the spot. It's 85 just to walk.
What's up, brother?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
How you doing, man? You good?
Life's good. Life's beautiful.
Life is good, man. Always good to see you. Always good to see the bald mug. And I feel like I'm seeing a little bit more of the house today. You must not have kids in the house. It must be out.
I'm in the dad chair right now.
In the dad chair. I love it.
Yeah,
relaxing, chilling.
Give my lower back a little bit of a rest. The work chair can be just on it. And this area here seems to keep the dog calmer. So she's been a little yippy here lately. So
love it, man. Hey, always good to see you. Thanks for being on the show today. We're gonna have a great show. We got some things to talk about today. We got AB5 we're gonna talk about.
Big
some other stuff.
Absolutely.
Make sure we get to that on the show. It's going to be interesting. A lot of decisions coming down that are impacting a lot of aspects of culture and economy, and that's definitely one of them. So we'll get to that one. All right, from Armstrong Transport up in the Boise, Idaho area. You know him as the Freight Sensei. Everybody, give it up for our boy Scott Watanabe.
Yeah. For those of you that want to know what we're all about, it's like this, y'all. This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100%
love it, man. Dude, that might be like one of the things I look forward to most during the week is your walk-up song. I got to say, that's so tight. I love it. What's up, brother? Are you on mute again? Man, you're on
He's
mute
on
again. Dang it.
One
We
week.
cannot.
he gets it.
We cannot
Wait,
have
I
a
think
word
I
on
had it
the
last
street.
week. I had it last
We
We
week.
had it last week.
I did have it last week.
We cannot have a word on the street without Scott coming in on mute. It's like clockwork.
It's so
around here.
high.
There's a few
being live on the sales floor. I'm trying
A
to
few
avoid
things you can guarantee in
background.
life. You can guarantee death, taxes, and Scott coming in on mute every week. That's the way it works. That's how it works.
Thank you. Awesome.
Every week. How are you doing, man?
Feeling patriotic today. You know, it's the Friday
Nice.
before the birth of our nation. So got my
Stars, stripes, and reproductive rights, baby.
yeah.
All right.
That's a good one.
All right, let's bring in the next member of the street crew real quick. He's been absent for a while. He must be working really hard. Come to us from Matson Logistics. Everybody give it up for Greg Roberts. It's a good song. It's a good song. I'm not going to lie. What's up, brother? How are you, man?
Oh, doing well. Yeah, it's been busy, but busy's good. You know, looking forward to the long weekend.
How's the progress coming on the ultra tough mudder you got coming up?
So I ran into a little bit of a snag in May and the beginning half of June. So I lost a couple of weeks of training there. But I'm doing my first long run again this weekend. So I'm feeling pretty good. 50K is still the goal. It will be the goal until, you know, the event is over. So that is the goal, but, I don't know. I'm hopeful. I think before I was feeling very confident. Now I'm, you know, 80,
you got it, man. Hey, I was in the Tough Mudder with you. I have no doubt you're going to crush that. Can't wait to hear that. Juwan, thanks for watching the show. Yes, amazing intro music. We're working hard on here. Here's another amazing song. This one will get you up off your seat. From Butler, PA, although I'm not sure where she's coming from today, the president and founder of Zen Freight Solutions. Everybody, give it up for Raquel Packets.
Love it. Love it. Hello, everyone.
Gotta have a good time around here. What's up, girl? How are you?
I am well. I'm well. We're starting our weekend a little early. Headed off to my mother's to go install a dog fence. Not something I want to be doing, and it's 86 degrees, but have to get it done.
Yeah, that's not fun. I thought you were going on maybe an RV trip or something really good.
In 2 weeks.
Hey, by the way, everybody, check this out, everybody. So I learned this by shooting some video with Raquel. Her backyard is like legit. Wait till you see some of the videos she's putting on social. That is a real background. It is not fake. It is her backyard. It's unbelievable.
And Raquel, I got to ask, is your devastatingly handsome co-pilot there?
He is, always.
There he is.
There he is. He's always making sure that, you know, everything's good. The audio's set up. The video looks good. Are you taking the dogs with you? Are the dogs with you?
No.
No dogs. All right. Very good. No dogs.
Just
all right. Well, it's good to see you. Glad to have you on the show. We're gonna have a fun show today, talking about some freight and all kinds of good stuff. All right, everybody, coming to us from Denver, Colorado, and talent solvers. One of the quiet assassins around here on the street crew. Everybody, give it up for my man Coleman Ruffin.
Are you working? What kind of work?
Are you wearing glasses? What?
Oh, I found these bad boys last weekend, and I had to show them off a little bit. They're glasses with a visor on there, so I'm full-fledged ready for the fourth.
Oh, that's huge. That's big.
Ready
for the
I love them.
That's some swag. They should put Trey's face on the side. Perfect.
Yeah, those are straight out of Back to the Future right there. I love that. That's
solid. They're great.
That's really good.
I absolutely love them. I won't wear them the whole show because it's hard to see, but I had to show them off a little bit.
How's everything in Denver, Colorado? Everything good?
Good, man. It's great. 80, like Raquel, 85 and sunny. It's hard to beat.
Weather's good there. It's not a bad spot at all. Now, I'll tell you somewhere where it's typically hot, although here today it's not quite as hot as down in Phoenix, Arizona, where our special guest today is coming from. He is the co-CEO and founder of Freightvana, one of my favorite people on the planet, incredible leader, incredible CEO, and he's got some of the best office decor as well. Everybody, give it up for our special guest today, Shannon Breen. Shannon, what's up, brother? What's up, brother? How you doing, man?
Good, man. Appreciate it.
Hey, I take this literally everywhere. I'm telling you, you might as well put me on payroll. I don't know. We got to talk about this because I'm everywhere. I'm out there. Brandon, what's up, man? How are you doing? You good?
I'm doing good, man. Yeah, it's been great. Thanks for having me with the crew. Turned in the brand swag for the American colors like Scott today. So just trying to represent for the 4th.
Nice. I love that. Hey, tell everybody real quick a little bit about yourself and a little bit about Freightvana. What are you guys doing over there?
Yeah, doing a lot. Pretty talented crew, growing fast. We passed our 1 year a couple weeks ago, early June. We focus on technology services, logistics support, and then we've got a quick growing trailer fleet that we're rolling out throughout the country to kind of support the small truckers and the shippers looking for different options with trailer capacity. So a ton going on here, Trey, but an amazing first year, and we're blowing and going as we go in here into year 2. So.
No, I love hearing what you guys are doing. And, you guys are doing, we're seeing a lot of trailer pooling right now. We're seeing some kind of Airbnb of trailer pooling. I know that the guys over at TAPS are encouraging, carriers to buy more trailers and to have that available just to ease some of the challenges getting in and out. When did that become a part of the Freightvana strategy of, hey, we're going to have our own trailers as well as the brokerage that we're doing? Talk a little bit about that.
From the get-go, right? I think, we work for one of the largest trucking logistics companies in the country, kind of stood up that program and platform, from about late 2017, early 2018, saw what it could do, wanted to take it even to the next level and even improve on it. So when we started building the business plan for Freightvana, we knew that a trailer pool of that size and scale was something we wanted to build upon. And huge investment, right? But that's why we've got a team with a lot of experience, because it's more than just spreadsheets and margin. Like you've got to have an operational appetite to take on that type of work. And so our team's built for that. We got that experience. And so I think that's what kind of sets us apart, Trey.
Yeah, well, that and just the fact that you guys are just special people. The content's great. It's a lot of fun. That's kind of where it's at. From a trailer pooling standpoint, how hard is it? And this is where I'm not in that seat every day. So I just want to ask the question, act like an idiot and let you guys talk. But how hard is it to get, customers to kind of buy into that idea of, hey, we're going to position trailers. We're going to give you time to load them. We're going to, use power only units to come pick them up and things like that. Like, what was that process like? And has that been pretty fruitful?
Yeah, I would say customer adoption is pretty easy. That's really not the hard part of the equipment. When you run that level of equipment, I think Greg can probably attest to this in his world. The cost, the efficiencies, right? And no real shipper is going to necessarily drive your network efficiency. But now you've got 40, 50, 60 customers, and now you've got to keep all of that moving. So I think the efficiency and then like the securitization become these massive lifts if you want to run assets at that level. And so I'd say, back to your question, Trey, shipper customer adoption, absolutely there. Small carrier adoption desire, absolutely there. But financially, efficiently, and safely, how do you deliver something that makes all of that come together? That's where the real challenge lies, my opinion.
Yeah, well, it's way above my pay grade. And the reason why I was in brokerage for 6 months and decided it was not the place for me. I should just spend time with smart people that know way better about that than I do. And that's right. Hey, we got one more guy in the green room who wants to come in. Should we let this guy in? He's got great content. He's a decent guy, always has a lot of good things to say. I think we're going to let him in real quick. Everybody give it up for my good friend, Hayden Allred.
See him still sleeping, so I had to shake him up. I kept it too real. I wasn't faking up. My real life was a headline.
I love it. Oh, I've stopped on it. Actually, we got to keep this going. Got to keep it going. It's amateur hour here, everybody. That's kind of how we work. Good to see you, man. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. It's just better having you in here than in the comments. I'm not going to lie. It's better having you in the room. That's for sure. So where do you feel like, Shannon, from your perspective, you guys obviously started Freightvana to do something different. Where do you feel like, this is headed for you guys? And you're like, have you already pivoted a little bit from your initial plan, or does this planning kind of working the way you thought it was going to work?
No, I think the plan works the way we want, right? I think we're going to be a team that, I told my team all the time, we're going to be a team that grows, climbs, acclimates, climbs again, right? You and I talked about it offline before, but you watch like the Kobe stuff, and it's like, hey, you don't get to just jump to the top of Everest, right? You got to climb, you got to earn that reward. And I think in business, it's interesting. You see some of these companies, it's almost like they get ascended to the middle or the top of Everest, right? And they have a story about it. but they didn't do the time to acclimate. And now you're seeing some of that struggle. So for us, I'd say we're on brand, we're on path. It's a hike, it's a journey. It's a mid to long-term journey. No one here is really too concerned about the shine or the raises or the valuation. It's really about building a infrastructure. And so we're on that journey.
Yeah, getting everybody on the same page when it comes to that is, I think, the power of what you do and what your team does, your executive team. You guys have a great grasp of that, and your team seems to be responding really, really well to that. So it's been a lot of fun to watch you guys on social and putting content out there and just displaying your culture and all that. Speaking of which, the content you guys have put out, I keep going back to this. Josh Bree said on Standing Out, one of the episodes, you guys haven't spent any money on recruiting, and yet you don't seem to have any trouble finding great team members to join your team. Talk about the value of what you guys have done on the marketing side to kind of help out on the internal recruiting and the messaging and branding.
Yeah, it's interesting because it's a completely different life from the past, right? When you work for a publicly traded multi-billion-dollar company, it's like almost the brand sells itself, right?
Yeah.
But part of that is there's certain things you don't do, and part of that is outside the box, maybe a little bit grittier marketing program. There's a lot more rules, a lot more red tape. So coming into this world, right, we start off square one. We know we've got to go big, bold, creative, fun. Like, a lot of the folks here, right, support us, right? And we get a lot of people that just, hey, we like what you're doing. Keep it up. Like you're changing the game. You're pushing the bill. You're challenging that status quo. And so for us, we knew we had to do that. Because, it's really hard to start a business. As you know, Trey, you've done the same thing. You're on that journey. And so when you're not working for a legacy brand with 70, 80 years of experience behind you, like what do you want to be and how do you build it quickly? On the marketing front, we get people all the time that reach out just all over the country. We just interviewed a gal from Georgia, right? And she was looking at relocating potentially from Georgia just because she liked what we were putting out and seemed like a group of people that she'd want to spend her career with. And I just think that's pretty interesting when you start to see that kind of start to become even not just Phoenix, right, where our HQ is, but now other people are like, hey, what if I would have come to Phoenix? Could I work with your team?
What a great problem. What a great problem to have. A great question for somebody to ask, which is amazing. Coleman, you're seeing a lot of movement in the labor market with a lot of the layoffs we've seen. Several companies announcing more layoffs. Some of those are not necessarily in the States, but they're moving out. But when you see a brand where people are willing to move, not asking for relocation, but like, hey, I think I might move there to be a part of what you're doing. That's pretty special. How often are you seeing that in some of the companies that are out there?
Oh, all the time. And Shannon, kudos to you and the team over there, because as people are making transitions out of the market, excuse me, the brand is the first thing that they're thinking of. Like, hey, if I'm going to be making a move, where do I want to go? And seeing the content and the great culture that you all have built, that sets you night and day above a lot of the other companies that are out there that are maybe a little bit more rigid or stagnant in some of their marketing. So I know we talked a little bit about it a couple of weeks when Josh was on, and again, kudos to you and the team, because that's really setting you aside from a lot of companies that are out there.
I got a question too. How many of those are coming from, say, like Wisconsin or Minnesota in like November, December, where Arizona just looks real nice about that?
Yeah, that's a good call, Greg. You do have to take into the 4 months of summer here, right? And so if you don't like the sunshine, you don't like 110, then it may be a struggle. But like I tell friends and family, like when you live in Phoenix, unless you're building houses, you're doing, you got a landscaping job. Like we are working in air conditioned environments. We do take air conditioned cars too, where we get home to our air conditioning. So there's not like walking through the desert with, water in our hands trying to survive from a corporate perspective. So, but it is hot, no doubt.
Yeah, it gets pretty brutal there, but you get up early enough or maybe late enough, you can get in some golf and it's not too brutal, and the cost goes down considerably in that regard. So it's good. Hayden, I got a question for you. You've been watching Freightvana online, right?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah. Pretty impressive stuff, isn't it? Some of the stuff they're putting out.
It is, because I feel, there's, especially being in our industry, it's very outdated. The marketing is stale. I almost fell asleep explaining it. You know what I'm saying? So it's always entertaining anytime they come out. Their logo, their brand itself pops and it kind of catches the eye. And then there's the content that's being pushed and the consistency of it. You got to love it.
Yeah, Shannon, you got to make sure this woman from Georgia is not coming to Phoenix just to do some TikTok dances with Josh Breeze and the crew. That's not what it's all about.
Well, you saw the news right on TikTok and some of the questions, and then some funny people like put messages out like, "What are you guys going to do if this were to happen? You know, if TikTok were to get censored or whatever?" And we're like, "I'm sure we'll find a different path."
Yeah,
but,
you'll find a different way.
For the time 100%. Being, we'll keep running.
Yeah, 100%. Well, let's get to something in the industry, a little bit of freight news. So we have the AB5 situation that Robert brought up earlier. He obviously had to jump off the call, unfortunately, couldn't be on it. But we have that going on. We've got some of the things that are happening where, Biden signed the law to bring down shipping costs. I don't know if that's going to actually happen or if that was just more of just a suggestion, to be honest with you, in terms of it's going to have any teeth and that kind of stuff. What are you guys seeing in the marketplace right now? Where are we at with rates? Where are we at with capacity and freight volumes, inventories? Some inventories seem to be high, others are not quite as high. What are you guys seeing out there?
Yeah, I mean, recently we've seen, you get a lot of these freight waves and DAT kind of coming out with their reports every week, and they're talking about the rates dropping, less inventory to be moved. But then you look across the ocean, you're looking at, okay, what's coming back over from China? It's like the bottleneck doesn't ever go away. It just moves from from California over to China, and then now it's coming back. So you wonder how long some of these suppressed rates may last, and what's going to really happen in 3 months or so when they're saying that the inventories are going to be lower, but are they really? And is there still going to be that need to get stuff off the West Coast? That's kind of the biggest area that I think drives a lot of the factors right now.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see kind of what happens with that in terms of the demand and what's going on with that. You also think about inflationary pressures. You also think about the people that are getting laid off. I think people are going to be able to find work because there's still a lot of work out there, just repositioning of where they are. But is that going to impact demand a little bit? It's summer. People are still, traveling. They're still buying hot dogs and hot dog buns for this weekend to celebrate the 4th of July. I mean, I don't know. It just almost feels like it's kind of this this back and forth game a little bit where there's really not a set way of where the market's going. It's just kind of constantly reacting and responding to what's happening out there. So it's pretty interesting what's going on right now. What else are you guys seeing?
I can say that in the flatbed markets, it's pretty typical. Every year it's pretty seasonal. At the end of June, we slow down until the 4th of July comes through, and then we start to pick back up about the mid of July. I've seen it. We post a load and our phones blew up. I was like, oh my God, it's back, right? Like it's been forever since that's happened. And I was sitting next to John. He's like, what is happening? Your phone's like nonstop. It's been like since pre-COVID, I swear, since that happened. So that's a great sign. It's just the balance, right? The influx of how the freight market goes.
Yep. And now we got the Supreme Court who's making some big headwaves, big news headlines this past 2 weeks in several different areas. One is that they decided not to take on the AB5 case, which keeps the lower court's injunction in place, if I'm thinking about that correctly. And it kind of puts the owner operators and contractors in an interesting spot here in the near future. What do you think is going to happen with that? How's that going to impact things? Anyone?
I think it's anyone's guess.
Oh, it might be. I don't know. You were saying who he had on there talking about it's not a recession; it would be a repurpose. Where all these owner operators that are coming into the market new, maybe they're going back to their previous lease to get back to that some of that contract stuff, with that dedicated stuff that they couldn't get. I guess sometimes they say they didn't really try to get it because spot markets were in their favor, but now that the spot market is not in their favor, they have to actually look for that dedicated stuff. And if they weren't out there creating those relationships with their brokers or their shippers in their area, that's not going to happen at this point because they should have did it before. So that repurposing is something that they might want to think about.
Yeah, and I would add, I think the larger companies are probably really in war rooms this week trying to figure out, okay, if this comes to bear, right? Because let's follow the money, right? The plaintiffs attorneys are going to be the ones that sets the stage, and the bigger you are, right, the bigger the opportunity for the plaintiff's attorney. So no shock, right? Your larger companies with large footprints of owner operators, and there's plenty of them in California, have been probably, if they've been prepping appropriately, some contingency plans. But you're going to talk about conversions to maybe company employee. You got to make sure you've got the right structure, and they probably have a list of owner operators that are maybe willing to switch over. In this market, it probably benefits the companies, right? Because go back to Scott's point. If you were going to do this 8 months ago and you tell owner operators, hey, you got to become a company employee driver and be able to do this, or you've got to go find other business, you're going to have all these people jump up and be like, oh, I'll just go run my own business because at $4 a mile, who can't, right? Now, the problem is we're not in that market now. We've got all these other pressures now. The market's changed dramatically, especially the spot market now. And so when you now hang that flag like, hey, are you interested in being a company driver? You're going to have a lot larger portion of people that will answer that bell. And I have that experience back on my previous life, right? With driver hiring and recruiting at one of the nation's top trucking companies. Undoubtedly, the market tides drive the recruiting efforts. And so in that type of a tide, you'd have a better opportunity to convert people over to being company employees because the other opportunities in the market are definitely not as interesting based on the fall and the cost and the rising fuel prices. So,
yeah, it's interesting. You talk about the drivers going from, company drivers to owner operators a while ago. I remember there was a conversation about, how there's not really this driver shortage because look at all these new MCs that have been given out. Well, what was happening is exactly what you're describing, Shannon, is that the drivers were going from being company drivers and they said, well, I want the whole piece. So they moved over and opened up their own MCs. And then now is that going to stay the fact? Are they just going to go back and we're going to hear, oh my God, there's this huge constraint because all these MCs are going out. But is it really just the same pool of drivers moving back to the companies?
Just one point. I'd like other people's thoughts on that too, but that's the interesting thing. So the largest fleets in the country, if you really follow them closely, you do the analysis, you see like what they report out on a quarterly basis. You know what they never share, Greg? Seated truck count. They just tell you how many trucks they own. They don't tell me how many are seated. They don't tell me how many are leased. So when you want to get a real feel and flavor for that, even when you track large publicly traded trucking institutions, what you can never tell from that public release is how that really works its way through the system because they intentionally don't share it, right? And so
very true.
I think it's a funny aspect of the market when you think about publicly traded, like, oh no, everything, right? Full transparency. It's like, but you don't share the one stat, which is like you have a manufacturing machine that is created of widgets, and you're just telling me how many you own, not how many are actually working, right? And so to your point, that's what we never really see. So when this happens, because I've seen that in my experience, that's exactly what happens behind the scenes. To your point, you're not getting net new as much as you're getting transitory opportunities between the driver segment.
Yeah, it seems like that's pretty common. The drivers just kind of go from one company to another, and you just see that movement around. I'm curious if put to the choice of become a company driver or start your own company in this environment, how many of them would maybe just park it for a while, just step out for a while and do other things? It's summer, maybe do construction. That's a common one as well. Are there enough that would do that it would make an impact, or do you think the pressure right now is so strong that they would go for that? Becoming a company driver.
The safety blanket. Go for the company driver, and at least what I would think, right? It's kind of like everybody said, it's almost like a revolving door of the same pool of people. Like, hey, during this market, I'm going to go work for a large kind of corporation company. And then when the market is better and more in their favor, hey, let's just go ahead, like Greg said, open up a new MC, start some things up, and just continuing that revolving door.
Yeah, and it definitely doesn't do any service to the fact that we do need more drivers. That we still need more drivers in there. It's just kind of juggling the same balls. It's not throwing new ones in and adding to the mix, which seems like the problem. It's just kind of pushing the problem around. Yeah, Shannon.
Yeah, I just say that. So like I saw a presentation from Rebecca Brewster, right? She's the president, I think COO at Atri, right? And she has some amazing stats for like you talk about following this trend, right? And so the issue with trucking is compared to other. You mentioned construction. You mentioned some other indices, right? Like the trucking's in track. If you look at like age groups between like 40 and 60, like pretty on par with other industries. Where trucking struggles, as soon as you go to that 18 to 30, it's way below construction. It's way below retail. It's way below just the overall average market. And that is the bogey that for the next 3, 5, 7, 10 years is going to impact trucking from a capacity standpoint. It's obviously why everybody's pushing the automation buttons, because there is such a degradation between the overall average and the 18 to 30 bucket that people are concerned who is going to drive a truck 15 years from now, 10 years from now.
Right.
And so Really interesting stats from that group, but it was really cool to see how that segmentation worked in the marketplace for drivers specifically.
Yeah. And along those same lines, I think that we do a really bad job as an industry of marketing being a truck driver, and making it more appealing, making it more sexy, making it something that people might want to do. It's almost like I saw something where there was a poll or maybe it was just an interview. I can't remember, but they asked parents, would you feel proud if your kid ended up as a truck driver? And the overwhelming answer was no. Because it's just viewed upon as kind of a fallback or something that you do if nothing else works, as opposed to something where, if a kid coming out of high school or currently college, because they can't drive at 19 years old, but someone out of college came out and started driving a truck with no family and no necessarily responsibilities, they can make pretty good money in a couple of years doing that and see the country and have fun. But we don't really market that. We don't really talk about that. We don't tell that story as an industry. And I think that we do a huge injustice to ourselves by not talking about that story, not going to colleges and recruiting. Why are carrier companies not going to colleges and getting people to drive who maybe want to own their own company someday? Because it's almost like it's just not accepted. It's almost like it's not cool. It's not whatever. I think we definitely missed the mark when it comes to that.
It's going back to branding, right? I mean, just like we were talking about earlier. With
everything is brand, Coleman. Everything is brand.
Everything is brand, right? I mean, if you go to anybody and you say, hey, tell me what you think a truck driver is, right? I'm not trying to stereotype here, but they'd be like somebody that's a little bit overweight, probably not the healthiest person that's out there. But that's not the case nowadays. There's so many people that are like Dr. Manera, right? Looking after and trying to inject
Dr. Manera.
I know.
Just call him Mark.
Yeah, Mark. I know, right? Trying to go fancy titles here. But it's the exact same type of thing. Like anybody, you go say, hey, what do you want to do with your career? I can almost guarantee 99.9% of the people aren't saying, I want to be a truck driver. But
very few.
If you can change that stereotype around what the average person is doing. I mean, I know you posted something not too long ago, Trey. Hey, it's a great way to see the country. I know a couple of people that used to be truck drivers, and like, it was a phenomenal experience. You got to see so many different aspects of the country, see different cities, and really travel. And again, after 5 years, if they want to make a transition, but that there's so many good things that come with it at the same time.
Yeah, and it used to be a lifestyle. That was kind of the appeal. It's kind of the lifestyle of being on the road and seeing the country and all those kind of things. And we've definitely lost that, but we haven't repackaged it or rebranded it in a way that makes it interesting and exciting. And that's unfortunate.
Now is the time, because pre-COVID, you either in logistics or you just accepted it for what it was. You just show up to the grocery store and stuff is there. And that's just how that goes. Like, you don't understand supply chain to the common person that doesn't work actively in this industry. Well, because it became such an effect, we were impacted by it in the capacity constraints, everything else going on in supply chain. The common people it's news. I mean, it's a constant flooding now because we are in this unprecedented time to where it's affecting everyone. You don't just show up and your grocery stores are full. And I think because of that, now it's like, now is the time to push the significance in, like, being a truck driver. It's literally, especially the owner operators, the small fleets are what keep this country running. Mm-hmm. Without them,
100%,
we die. We don't get access to the resources we need in a convenient way. Our lifestyle is gone. So I think now it's something to be revered, and like, there's honor in that, and really how important and essential they actually are to our infrastructure and life as we know it.
That is so true. And not to bring humor to that, but can you imagine all of us trying to become farmers? Make our own food? It'd be pretty hilarious. Everybody's back there trying to till the ground. Nobody knows what they're doing. Yeah. We'd all lose weight.
but Trey, to Hayden's point too, right? Think about, like, you talked about the job, and having some experience. Like, what are you doing to cater to that 18 to 30 segment, right? Let's talk simple stuff. Like, I mean, I'll tell you my house, right, with my kids, and that the one way that I can impact my entire family is just based on my Wi-Fi speed, right? So. I say that like kiddingly, but at the end of the day, like, think about how many fleets are out there that don't have Wi-Fi enabled for their, hey, I want to cater to a 24-year-old to drive truck, but like, hey, do you have Wi-Fi capabilities in your trucks? Absolutely not. We haven't had that in 20 years. Well, once again, hey, there's an expense, but can you afford not to have your trucks filled, right? Like, so there's all this stuff that's emerging and changing that I think legacy trucking institutions and or small owner operators need to reconsider if they want to grow their fleets. Think about the difference. Like, try to go tell your teenager or anybody that has kids right here that's listening, like, go tell them we're going to do something, but we're going to go move to a house without Wi-Fi. Just tell them you're going to move, but we won't have Wi-Fi in the new house, and then see how your family reacts to that decision. Now go tell that same 20-something-year-old person you're going to have a job and you're going to be on the road and you're going to be by yourself and you don't have Wi-Fi. Like, it's really sometimes some simple stuff that we kind of skirt over, but those are the types of things that people need to think about in their cost structure and how they cater to that different type of driver in the market.
Yeah. And it only takes one person to change the whole thing, that somebody come up with that idea and market that idea and get it out there. I often think back to my DAT days up in Portland, Oregon, where we heard the story about Jubit's Truck Stop. If you've never been to Jubit's Truck Stop in Portland, Oregon, you should go. It's still there. It's right by the Columbia River. But what Al Jubit started to do was he started to have warm meals for drivers, warm showers, live entertainment. And so drivers wanted to stop at his truck stop because it gave them life on the road. And this was back in the 70s. Changed the whole landscape of trucking and then what a truck stop should offer. And so now you see truck stop with restrooms, you see them with restaurants attached to to provide warm meals and things like that. Just takes one person out there who works in an asset-based company to say we're going to do that and we're going to market that, we're going to push the envelope, and it's going to change the way that those types of little decisions are made to where it becomes standard. You guys remember back in the day, like when our parents would buy a car and air conditioning was optional? You had to decide if you want to pay more for that. I mean, now it's standard because that's kind of what we've come to expect. And if we did something like that, like Wi-Fi in trucks, and it becomes standard, then something like that, changes the whole landscape of trucking for the younger generation, which that's really valuable. It'd be huge. All right, everybody, we're going to transition away to something else. So it is 4th of July weekend. And just in case you weren't aware, it is July. We are at the midpoint of the year. And so I put a little poll out there to talk about
Day.
Happy $1 million paycheck day. Oh man, I've got better hope he lives to be 100. That's going to be, although $1 million in 50 years, it might not be worth a whole lot. You never know. So we put a poll out there to see what people thought about 4th of July. So let's go ahead and show the people what we got. Here we go. Let me share the screen. Shannon, this is the part of the show that usually goes drastically poor from a production standpoint. This is the amateur hour here. All right. 4th of July. Question number 1, is 4th of July your favorite holiday? Only 2 people that responded said yes. Everybody else said no. What are your favorite holidays, by the way? What do you guys got? What's your favorite holidays?
It's my number 2 for Christmas, for sure.
Christmas.
But okay. This is definitely number 2.
No one Thanksgiving is the favorite holiday?
Yes, I'm a Thanksgiving guy.
Yeah, that one's it's a double-edged sword because it's a day of misery, but enjoyment. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I usually end up slaving over a couple turkeys and slinging myself in the kitchen, but that's what I love. That's what I do. So, 4th of July. I think I still have a scar on my hand somewhere from the last 4th of July, maybe 3 years ago. I should have sent you that picture.
Favorite holidays is a tough one. They're all good, right? Most of them are pretty good holidays, but my favorite, I think, is Memorial Day. For several reasons. My parents were, my dad was in the military. My grandpa was in the military, fought in the war. And of course, the Indy 500 is on Memorial Day weekend. So it's just a great weekend. It's the start of summer, great weather. I'm a Memorial Day kind of guy. All right. Question 2, what are your favorite foods to eat on 4th of July? Most people are loving hamburgers and hot dogs. We got some corn on the cob. That's one of mine. Ribs. Got 6 people with ribs. Not a ton of people going with potato salad. Look at that. 0 people like potato salad. I'm so glad to hear that because I can't stand potato salad. I don't know if it's the texture or what, but man,
there's only one recipe I can eat potato salad. It's my mom. So luckily she's bringing it over this weekend.
Nice. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that. How many going to be grilling out this week? Oh yeah. It's almost like
you left off grilled chicken though.
Well, I got wings in there, but you're right. I got left off grilled chicken. Is grilled chicken a 4th of July thing?
You don't grill wings.
You don't grill wings, but
grilled wings are phenomenal. Have you never done that before?
I've never had grilled wings. Really?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Never.
Full wings.
Interesting. Okay. Well, see, I looked at a list of top 4th of July. I looked at several lists, and grilled chicken was never on any of them, Greg. So you're kind of alone on this one.
Seasoned ones from Costco. They're pre-seasoned. You throw those on the grill. Those actually really delicious.
I didn't see
the seasoned leg.
Cut up the chicken breast, put it in a brine, let it sit for a few hours, throw it on the grill.
All right.
The chicken sandwiches.
Okay. All right. That's very good. All right. I'm going to have to try that. Well, I may have to give that one a shot. I've never done it before, but may have to try to pull that off. All right. Question 3. Will you watch Nathan's hot dog eating competition?
I would totally participate in that.
You want to participate in that? Is that what you said?
Try it. Absolutely. I'll do that.
Maybe we should do a street crew.
We should do a word on the street hot dog eating competition. We'll set the timer and just let everybody go at it.
I got this trophy for a reason.
Okay, Scott, here's the deal. When 4th of July lands on a Friday, we will have the word on the street hot dog eating competition. Hold on. Wait, did you have a hot dog eating competition? What is that from?
It wasn't. So we've probably had 3 different food eating competitions. So we've had stew pie eatings, like the little there. Got them both. And then we had those chip cookies. I ate 4 of those in 18 minutes. Those are huge.
Hayden,
Horrible
you've met your
day.
match. You've met your match, Hayden.
So
You better watch out. Bring the heat. All right. Well, then
I was born a fat
the
kid.
next
though,
question, Hayden. You must have. All right. Next question. How many hot dogs do you think you could eat in 10 minutes? One person said 11 to 15. Hayden, was that you?
No way.
I couldn't get to the poll, and I was trying to click on it in the comments, but I wasn't.
Oh, that's too bad. Yeah, it's too bad.
I can easily do 1.5 a minute, like a breeze. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
you could do 1.5 hot dogs a minute. So you're thinking 15.
Yeah.
You could plow in 10 minutes. Well, that's not going to do you very good in Nathan's hot dog eating competition. Greg, what were you going to say?
No,
I would say that 11 to 15 was me. I actually did it with a buddy in college, and
you've done it. Congrats.
A miserable afternoon.
But I can't believe. I think the world record's like 68 or something, or somebody look that up. What's the world record for Nathan's hot dog eating competition by Joey Jaws?
Where they got dogs.
Joey Chestnut. Yeah.
Joey Chestnut.
And just...
Oh man, that's I can't imagine how many. But somebody look that up.
It wasn't enjoyable.
Oh, 76.
76 in 10 minutes. I mean, I still can't even. I mean, that's why we watch, right? Because it sounds unbelievable. It doesn't even sound possible.
What a poster child for America. We got countries
14 times.
competition.
Yeah. We just 14 times. He's won that thing 14 times. You took it from Kobayashi, my boy.
Oh man, it's crazy. Yeah, we have countries that they don't have any food, and we're just eating it just to see how much we can eat in one.
As a competition,
I would enjoy
competition in America.
I would enjoy slices of pizza. I used to do that back at the old the CC's pizza buffets back in the day. You know, trying to get 20 slices down. I would enjoy that maybe, but hot dogs, that's a lot of unknown meat in my belly. I'm not sure if I'm a fan of that. All right, question 5: what will be your relationship with fireworks this year? 1, we have nothing to do with it. One person said that. 9 said they'll be watching fireworks. 1's going to be igniting fireworks, and 1 person said maybe in the hospital because of fireworks. I hope that's nobody on the show, but that's going to be that's Scott. That's you. Is it a big pyrotechnics show up in Idaho?
It is.
Yeah, as it should be. As it should be. Absolutely. And then the final question of the poll today: do you own any apparel with an American flag on it? I almost put on the question yes, American, blood, red, white, and blue blood through and through, or no, my citizenship is questioned. How can you not have something with a little flag on it somewhere? I'm not sure how that works. Anybody on the show? Was that someone on the show?
All right. Impromptu question though. How many people on this call own a pair of official 4th of July / Memorial Day / Labor Day New Balance Classics?
I can't say that I do. I bet somebody at Freightvana's got those. You need to check that, Shannon. I bet somebody's real rocking those.
Come standard.
We are some sneakerhead. You got those present, Hayden? Can you show those off?
Go get them. Yeah. Bring them back.
I got them in my safe where I keep them. It's high priority.
Yeah, dead stock, I'm sure, Hayden.
Yeah, Freightvana is definitely sneakerheads. There's no doubt about that. So we'll wait for him to get back to show us these sneakers that he's got. There they are. There they are.
Love them.
If you can see freshly cut lawn clippings on them, that's part of the character. They do get washed. Obviously, I have my shoe guy come by and detail them once a week. But
you gotta have some grass stains.
If you're tired of your chicken drying out on the grill, your steak's not good, it's overcooked. First of all, you got to get a towel over the shoulder while you're cooking, and you got to have these bad boys on. Easy upgrade.
Yeah, you'll never
the
miss
tongs together a couple times.
I like it. I think Hayden needs to do an infomercial on grilling out with those bad boys. I think it's what we need to see. So
I've got videos made. I'll send it.
Nice. All right, everybody. We've got the word on the street top 5. I got to come up with a little jingle. We need a jingle like a typical jingle. But we got the word on the street top 5. But this week's word on the street top 5 is not something that we can show in a graphic like that. We have to use videos for this because it is the top 5 fireworks videos off of YouTube, everybody. And we've got an actual honorable mention as well. So we're going to put these up there, and then we'll do a quick vote and see what you guys think about this. So first of all, the honorable mention. Take a look. Enjoy. Here we go.
We're going to shoot an artillery shell with a compound.
That's a firework on the end there. That's going to be, yeah. This is my favorite part. Listen to this.
No.
The parent says, can't light it.
Give him your cigarette.
Give him your cigarette.
Don't let him puff it.
There's no way this is going to go wrong. There's no way.
Safety first, everybody.
This is OSHA approved. We're good.
Could you go a little more to the right, please?
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So that's our honorable mention, everybody, on this one. So here we go. This is number 5. Let me pull this up. Let me get to it. Shannon, this is what we do. It's just stupid stuff. Here we go. Number 5. This one's a little long. This one's called In the Snow Fireworks. Check it out. I'm not sure this is a foreign country. Here we go. Shooting off fireworks in the city. The fireworks aren't even getting above the buildings. I love it. But that's just the beginning, everybody. Watch what happens. Here we go. Getting a little crazy. Might be at the finale. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
Just seeing people running.
Working
And then
exactly
right there at the end.
supposed to.
Oh, that's so okay. So that's number 5, everybody.
That looks about what happens in front of my house.
That's that's the Boise, Idaho one. All right, here we go. This one's called porch diving. Number 4. Here we go. Everybody sit on the porch, enjoying it. Here it goes. Uh-oh.
Back up, Terry.
Oh, God.
I just love the fact that the camera was rolling for some of these. It's so good. The guy's running out a little late. That's number 4 right there. Okay, somebody say back it up, Terry. Did I hear that? Okay, well, I mean, we might get to that one. I don't know. Here's number 3. This is called Iceland New Year's Eve fireworks. Here we go.
Yay!
I mean, just lighten it up. This might be more Boise, Idaho, Scott. This might be what you're talking about right here.
You're sitting in your
That's dedication by the cameraman to stay with it and track it. Go up into the air.
No, he's sitting here like this.
Yeah, kudos to the cameraman on that one for sticking with that one. That was pretty intense. Love that one. That was pretty crazy. Okay,
That's
all right, everybody.
great.
Number 2. This one's called Fireworks in the Garage. This is a shout out back to our younger days, everybody. Here we go. Oh no, wrong one. Hang on, let me get that one out of there. Sorry. No, amateur hour here. Here we go.
Amateur hour.
Here we go. All right. This is so stupid.
Why are you locking the door? Here we go. Why are you locking? Oh shit. Oh shit. This is gonna suck. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar.
Oh,
They weren't screaming that. They weren't screaming that.
That is
all right.
Natural selection working.
Oh, my God, yeah.
All right, Hayden, this is for you. This is the number 1 video, and this might be the best fireworks video of all time. Everyone, it's a backup.
Come 2 different ways.
Oh, yeah. Classic.
Here you go, Derek.
Bag up, Terry. Put it in reverse, Terry. Put it in reverse. Oh, Lord, Jesus. Oh, Lord. Oh, Jesus. What you doing, Terry? Terry, what's going on?
Classic.
The laugh at the end is the best. Here we go. All right, everybody. So the moral of this. Which one's our favorite there? So who liked the arrow one at the beginning? Was that number 1? No, nobody voted for that one. How about the Icelandic one? The snow one? No, not the snow one. How about in the garage? Anybody in the garage?
On the garage.
One on the street.
That was
the
pretty.
garage was
The one in the streets, the Iceland one, was going crazy in the streets.
Yeah, that was wild.
Number 3.
Oh,
and then back up Terry. Oh my gosh, that's
how is the garage one ever going to work out well? Like, who decides to light fireworks off with the garage door shut in their garage? I mean,
the same people that were eating
go
time
through
to go
all of the bad decisions even before we started that thing.
That's a Darwin Award waiting to happen.
That is.
I'm gonna make my boys do it.
Totally Darwin. There was another one that I saw. I almost put it on, but there was another one where they had put you might have seen it. They put all the fireworks in a small car, and blew up the car, and the car was just completely destroyed. It was a little white car, little somewhere in Europe somewhere. But I saw that one. I almost put that one on there. But okay, the moral of the story is, everybody, have a great weekend with your fireworks. Don't shoot anything up. Don't end up in the hospital or end up getting one of those awards. That would be good. But it's going to be fun to see some fireworks lit. How many of you guys have a local fireworks displayed in your town? Anybody have?
Oh, yeah.
You guys have one of those?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Pretty good.
Ours all got canceled, Trey, and the commentary from every city is supply chain issues. So thanks for everybody out there.
His fault.
Canceled.
Every city, seriously. And I think part of it is just the dollars aspect of it. But I mean, they are quoting, I mean, out here in Phoenix, you've got 4 or 5 shows all canceled for supply chain issues.
Well, it's a good excuse this year, I guess, but it is saving them. I mean, the budgets that cities spend on these things are pretty massive, some of them, which is crazy. Now I live in Missouri where it's super flat, so unfortunately, like, you only get to watch the one near you. But when you live somewhere where there's some hills and you get up on top of a hill, you can watch them all over town. That's usually the best, but not where I live, unfortunately. Okay, all right. So we're gonna end the show with what we do every week, Shannon. That is This Week in Pictures. A little fun walkthrough of what happened this week, some news stories that went on as well. So we're gonna go ahead and start this out. And Shannon, you're up first, man. What do we got here? Talk about this.
Yeah, I think so. Hey, so you start a company, right? Your kids have no clue why you leave every day and what you really do. So we're driving to California to Disneyland last week. We see one drive by, but the kids don't see it. So I actually took the kids by one of our places that we have a lot of our Freightvana X trailers. They got to take some photos, see what Dad really does. Funny story I would just share real quickly. So my boy doesn't touch anything, but after you go to Disneyland with your kids, you realize they touch absolutely everything. And the picture you don't see, and I could share that offline, but he actually has trailer grease all across his face. And we go to take this picture, and my teenager just starts laughing, and I'm like, first I'm concerned, right? And he has no idea he's got that. He's like, I didn't touch anything. I'm like, like, after watching you for 2 days in Disneyland, and now you've got grease all over your face, I'm almost 100% certain you touched that trailer, son. And he's just, he's embarrassed, he's emotional. So I got some amazing photo reels of him with like trailer grease on his face.
Oh, that's so good. So good.
And that was on our drive back. So.
That's the kind of picture you hold for the wedding highlight, slideshow. That's the one you hold on to for that. That's going to be epic for that, which is great. And here's another picture. Tell us about this one.
Yeah, that's just my little ones, man. A lot of times people ask about why we do what we do. For me, it's about my family, my kids, this journey, being able to enjoy those experiences. And I think the cool thing is really promoting people taking the time to enjoy that stuff. So too often we get involved in the grind. We forget about the journey and the why. And so for me, being able to take the weekend, take those kids, see the smiles on their faces, getting to go to Disneyland for the first time, riding roller coasters for the first time. It was, there is no dollar figure for that. So that was,
dude, that stuff is magical when you're that age. Like, the princesses and everybody, they're real. All the characters, like, oh my gosh, he's a real, I mean, like we took our kids to Disneyland when they were 6 and 4. It was the same thing. I mean, I stood in line for 2 hours to meet Elsa and Anna. I mean, that's what we do as parents, right? 2 hours.
I just went, and it was magical for me. So I can imagine for the kids.
No, I mean, it is. It's amazing, and it does. It's a good reminder why we do what we do. You got 5 kids, right?
Yep.
5. Is that right? From what to what? What are the age ranges?
22 to 5 in a few weeks.
Man, you don't look old enough to have a 22-year-old. Get out of here with that.
the older ones are my step kids, but it's been an interesting journey.
Better explanation, because you don't look old enough to have a 22-year-old. Let's just get that out there. All right, Freight Sensei, what's up, man? What do we got here?
National Logistics Day. We decided to take the whole office to a rage room, so we raged. It was super fun.
So you just get to
a bunch of axes throwing, and then we just get to break stuff. It's a room. I believe this picture on the right is a picture of someone smashing a vacuum cleaner on a block. So I wish I could have sent you some videos or pulled up. You got me a video of me with my awesome golf swing, but I slipped and I fell all over. But it was great. But it was fun, very stress relieving. That's exactly what they needed, and they had a lot of fun. So.
I didn't know that rage rooms existed, but thinking about it, that's a genius business. Give people a productive place to go get the energy out and get the, if you have a bad day, just go light up a session.
Just full office space.
Put one in at the Eagles stadium. The Eagles fans would get so angry.
the Eagles Rage Room at the end. It's right by the line on the way out of the stadium. That'd be genius. Oh, so good. All right, Raquel, what do we got here? I don't know if you can tell us what's going on here, if you're with us, or maybe I'll just tell. Raquel got to go to the headquarters of LDI and do some work with them and take some pictures. So she sent these over. So I'm doing the talk through for you, Raquel, unless you can jump in and say something. Can you jump off mute and talk?
Get a little car Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to work out. Okay.
Man. I'm going to be near me.
No, we can't. It's okay. It's hard to hear you. I told him what you did, so it's all good. You're good. But you went to LDI's headquarters, which is the brand that they work for, an agent of LDI. So pretty cool to see that as well. All right. As I told you guys last week, I mentioned that Friday I was super excited because Saturday was the starting of summer camp for my daughters, both gone. My wife and I had an awesome vacation weekend together, just a huge date. We went to see Top Gun twice, y'all. We went Saturday night. It was so good. We went back Tuesday night for the $5 version and the free popcorn, which was awesome. We went and hit golf balls. We went to Costco. I think I posted that. We went to Costco, which that is a date night when you're over 40 and you got kids, everybody. That is a legit date night. Don't throw that one out. And we went to the Cardinals game. They won 9-0, I think, on Monday night against the Marlins. So had a phenomenal opportunity to have a little date night, which is great. Oh, here's the Costco run. This is when I feel like I'm most connected to the supply chain, is when I'm in the grocery store, which is not too often. We got to see what was going on there. So that was good. And then we got a couple of news stories we're going to end on this week. So first of all, we had some news that health insurance prices are now going to be revealed for the first time to consumers. We'll get to see what health insurance, what they pay for almost everything, which is really interesting. Pricing transparency is, I think, a great thing because, when you go to the hospital and you pay, $400 for 2 Advil, what's going on. I know I hit the wrong button again. This is what happens, Shannon. It's amateur hour around here.
Live TV.
This is how it works. But pricing transparency. What do you guys think about this?
Yeah, I think it's amazing. Well, I mean, for healthcare, for sure. I mean, I got hit. This is years ago. I got hit by a car and I had an ambulance take me to the hospital and it ended up being like $3,000 for 7 blocks. I was like, where is all this coming from? Like, it's insane.
Yeah. I mean, the ambulance, obviously, because it doesn't get used as much, which is a good thing. They have to pay for the technology and the equipment there. So I kind of understand that, but man, it's like Advil, $400, $500 for a couple Advil. Like, come on,
the thing is they have different menus, so to speak, right? Like depending on which office you go to and depending on what your insurance provider is. I mean, this is the rate for the insured people. And then the insurance company pays really this much. But if you come in and you don't have insurance, they'll give you something it's just make it all what it should be. And then
it just always seems so sketchy. The whole thing, it just seems really, really sketchy. I'd love to see somebody, this would be pretty funny. If somebody came to the hospital and their wife was like toting a backpack with like everything they need. There's some gauze in there. There's some Advil in there. There's maybe some scissors to do some work. I don't know. I mean, that'd be pretty funny. Be like, no, I got you right here. We got them. Don't need them. We got, I mean, that might be the way
we got to pay for the labor, but we brought the parts.
That's right. We brought everything we need. Pretty crazy. Energy is a big topic right now with everything that's going on with Russia and with oil and with refineries down. So I saw this story. I thought this was interesting. It looks like nuclear is kind of getting a second look, which I think is actually a good thing. I think we need to have an all energy strategy because like if you have windmills, that's great. But if the wind dies down a little bit, if there's sun out, obviously solar is great, especially if you're in a place where you get a lot of sun. These are great things to use. But I just don't like the fact that we're demonizing some forms of energy and not the others when all of it requires energy to make anyways. And there's things that go into it like that. There's really no such thing as purely clean energy. And so I like the fact that it's on there. What do you guys think about nuclear power? Would you be okay with nuclear power?
I think as long as the technology is advancing, I mean, it's advanced in so many other areas. I'm sure that they've made it safer than it previously was. So it needs to be done appropriately, but
sure. Yeah.
Trey, on the energy front and bring it back to trucking for a sec. I thought, I keep kind of hyping up Rebecca's presentation because I thought it was one of the most interesting ones I've seen in years. She talked about the difference between the actual energy savings between battery operated trucks and your standard, diesel trucks. And then she gave like the delta, and the delta is not a complete delta, right? Because there's so much energy that goes into doing the batteries. But then the interesting piece was through all their studies, the problem is you can haul less weight because of the battery payload, right? And so as you add, so you got to have more units of to add more
Yeah.
units to haul the same pay. And so by the time you take the delta and add the units, like the net benefit isn't as, I think, large as everyone would assume it to be. Like, oh, this is a game changer. And I think the second thing I would highlight is, I remember early in my career, 2015, Elon was talking heavy about battery operated trucks. Now Elon has gone on to do some amazing stuff, as people have seen through his fleets and his cars, and obviously what Tesla's done. But the thing you never hear them talk about or actually deliver on is what thing?
Yeah, the trucks.
They haven't delivered on the trucks yet.
Right.
And I think there's something to be said when the richest guy that really has no rules, that's still struggling to deliver that component to the market. That should tell everybody something 7 years later. So just throw that out there while you're on the energy.
That's a great point. Speaks its volumes about that. Speaking of which, can we get that presentation somehow? I would love to see that presentation.
It's all free, my man.
Where we need to get the link to that.
I'll send it out so you can send it to people. But
send me a link.
A lot of great information on driver hiring stuff that I'm sharing.
Yeah.
I was incredibly impressed about this organization and what they do, and how much information is out there that I had not been able to
that's
understand.
cool.
So.
Yeah, that's awesome. No, we'll definitely get that. Okay, we're over time, so we'll go real quick. It's vacation season. If you're going to Yellowstone, don't get too close. A visitor was injured by getting too close to a bison, but those things are amazing. It's tempting to get up real close to them. Any of you guys been to Yellowstone? I've been there a couple times. It's great. Man,
gotta respect nature.
Nature. It's neat to be that close, but I mean, they're wild animals, right? Got to be careful. But hopefully people have great summer out there, seeing some of that kind of stuff. And we're going to end on this story here, kind of a funny one, and that is a woman brought a baby and a stash of drugs to a Florida prison visit recently. Sometimes you just can't fix stupid out there, people. So whatever's going on out there, have a great weekend, everybody. We appreciate you being on the Word on the Street this week, Shannon. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you'll come back and see us again sometime soon. For everybody out there that was watching, have a great 4th of July. Enjoy the long holiday, and we will see you guys next week for episode 114, where we're going to have Matt Annis from TAFS on the show. So we'll see you guys soon. Everybody have a fabulous 4th of July weekend. Thanks, Shannon. See you, bud.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good weekend, everybody.
Have a good weekend.